Probably one of the most radical ideas that you'll come to on the spiritual path is the idea of solipsism. Solipsism basically means alone self. And what that means is that only you exist. Whatever is conscious right now, your consciousness is the only thing that exists. In a similar way as when you're in a dream. You're dreaming up all different characters, you see different people in your dreams, right? You see trees and forest, but you don't realize all of that is you, your mind, until you wake up. Isn't it interesting how our dreams are very solipsistic, how it's all our imagination, it's all you, but you don't know it's you until you wake up or you become lucid in the dream? Well, in a similar way, a solipsist says that reality, this right here, is indistinguishable from a dream, that reality is a dream, reality is a hallucination, it's your imagination. Now, this idea can be very scary for some people because it puts a lot of responsibility on them and it makes them, question, how can you know if there's any other mind that exists? And that's the thing is, if you go really deep into philosophy, you get to the mind-body problem, but I like to call it the problem of solipsism, or it's called the problem of other minds. And that problem is basically that you can only know that your experience exists. If you think about it, if you really get down to it and question what you really know is true, the only thing that you've ever had in reality, if you think about it, the only thing that you have ever had, the only contact you've ever had with reality is your own experience, your first person experience right now. Any other ideas about the earth, God, space, the earth being round? Just think about that. Your idea of the earth right now is an idea. It's not the same thing as the actual earth. And the same thing is with objective reality. Objective reality, in a way, from a solipsistic point of view, is more conceptual than your first-person subjective experience right now. So in a way, your experience right now, your subjective experience, is more real than your ideas about atoms, science, religion, the shape of the earth, other minds. Those are all theories, those are all inferences. There is no evidence that other minds exist other than through inference. So we can assume that other minds exist, and that's a fair assumption because we have to assume, it's a good assumption to assume other people exist because that is most functional. You couldn't really make friends if you didn't. So part of accepting this perception, this reality. The reality is that we are all in our own experience. We are all stuck in our own experience. We can't break out of it because any ideas that we think of are outside of our experience, like other minds, other people, other planets, all that, they're ideas within our experience. So we can't really get out of our experience, but we can have inferences and we can connect with other people within our experience in a similar way that you can connect with other people in a dream. It's just that at the deep level, you are one with everybody. So one. And solipsism points to the fact that we are all one. We are all one in such a deep way to where there really is no there's no difference between you, the world, and other people. In a way, it's all in the mind of God. We're all one. So it's kind of hard to explain that, but I would say that it's still important to act morally, still act good in the best of other people, and to not use this idea of solipsism to justify being selfish, because your dream can be a beautiful dream or it can be a nightmare. So when you're on the spiritual path, don't let your ego get into the way. Just think of solipsism as something that can point you towards a deeper truth. And the deeper truth is that your experience, your subjective experience right now, is fundamental. Consciousness is fundamental to reality. Because if you weren't experiencing reality at all, what could you really say exists? When we say that something exists, what do we really mean by that? What I think that we mean by when we say that something exists means that we can experience it. We perceive it. So if we can't perceive it, then how do we know it exists? When we say that a car exists, we say that we can see the car, feel the car, drive the car. If we can't drive the car, if we can't feel the car, see the car, then what reality does a car have? So just think about these questions and let me know what you think about this topic of what solipsism is and how that relates to spirituality and personal growth. So don't let it scare you. Just kind of accept it that your experience is so private that it can feel alone. But remember that you are alone because you are so one with everybody. That's why it might feel alone. But just remember that we are all connected. We are all the universe having a human experience. So in a way, we're together in that.